It is unfair to have a Yoruba president in 2023. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. October 31st, Nigerian Point Media. Major General Isiala Williams, retired, is a former Chief of Training, Operations and Plans of the Nigerian Army. In this interview with Ayo Esan, he speaks on issues as they affect the country. Many Nigerians, including Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, have called on the federal government to designate killer bandits operating in parts of the north as terrorists. What is your position on this? He replied, "You know, it is super difficult for anybody else apart from the presidency to answer that question. This is because for a long time, everybody knows that these sort of people, especially in Kaduna, Zamfara, now moving to Niger, they have gone beyond what you can call banditry. And therefore, with what they are now doing, also in Sokoto, is beyond the understanding of anybody who would call them bandits. The second thing, which is also very important, the security agencies, for one reason or the other, have not been able to deal with the problem or to deal with the challenge. Recently, Commissioner Frank Mba of the Nigerian police did say that they are not overwhelmed by the lack of public safety. So if they are not overwhelmed, what is the problem? They have also pushed the military to act like a constabulary to try to support them on these bandits and kidnappers, and so on, which normally is not for the military, who also have the problem in Northeast with the insurgents, and they have not been able to do it. Therefore, it is only the presidency now, maybe the Attorney General, who can say, okay, who is a terrorist? What is the condition they should attain to be able to call them terrorists? But everybody in Nigeria is convinced that these are not bandits anymore. For the past 1 or 2 years, they are terrorists, period. And if you have somebody like Sheikh Gumi coming out to say that if you call them terrorists, then you must be ready for the consequences. You know that gentleman called Sheikh Gumi is acting like the president of Nigeria. The sort of things he said is unbelievable. For a citizen of a country that had the rule of law and had law and order as a fundamental, I cannot believe it when I heard some of the pronouncements he makes and gets away with it. He does not care, and he does not give logical or good reasons for making such a statement, which means that he is above the law in Nigeria. And secondly, too, he must have a special relationship with the president. There is no doubt about that. Thirdly, he must have also special relationship with the DSS. That is indisputable, because I do not think any other Nigerian can make such statement and DSS will let him be. So what can one say? But it is clear to everybody that the bandits are now more of terrorists. If the governor of Kaduna can say so, and not only that, he said he has tried to convince the presidency, but the president does not want to own up. So what could common man like us do? The National Assembly has made a U-turn on the issue of electronic voting and electronic transmission of results, approving instead of opposition to it. How do you see its new position? Anybody in a certain position looks at a situation and tries to manipulate the situation to suit his interest. For the members of the National Assembly, they have no limit, unlike the president and governors who have 2 terms. A member of the National Assembly can continue to go there for the next 20 years. One member of the House of Representatives has just announced that he is collecting 88.5 million naira every month. If it were you, how do you want to leave that place? It means that he is using the method to go there, and somebody wants to change that method to the one you cannot even manipulate. What would you do? You would just sit down there and say, yes, I agree? Of course, you would not agree. It is just natural. It is only somebody with conscience that can do that. But politicians are not people with conscience anyway. That is why I call them politicians. Everybody knows that what you are looking for is to have a system that cannot be easily manipulated for elections. One thing that you people has forgotten is that up to today, INEC has not brought out the electronic total number that was supposed to be out in 2020. I hope you remember that Atiku took them to court. The court threw out the case because INEC said it did not use electronic system to count the votes. But it was very clear that they used the electronic system. It is the same INEC that is now asking for e-voting. If they bring us all the results of the 2020 election, you may discover that Atiku won the election. but they will not bring them out. They do not have the courage to do so. So, there must be something shady here. Now that the INEC supported e-voting under pressure from everybody, the National Assembly had to make that change. In 2015 and 2020, when you saw the video of people voting in Kano, for example, these Almajiris were voting. Till today, nobody knows the population of the core northern states. So every time they keep telling us that there are more people in the north than in the south, and they know that it is not true. It is not true, and this is why they do not like census. When you go there, they say they can have wives in powder and nobody can see their faces. They never allow any results of census taken in Nigeria to come out. The day we get the true figure, that is the day things will change in Nigeria. Let us talk about 2023 general election. What are the qualities you expect from the next Nigerian president in 2023? He replied, the same quality that you expect. First of all, we have to be serious because most of the voters are not really serious people. And it has to start from the political parties. The political parties are dominated by people who have stolen money and are using money to gain power. That is what is happening. And these people with money dictate to those to be elected. And what they do is to stomach adjustment program, like Fayoshe said. And what happened is that in some cases, people do not even go out to vote because they know the election will be rigged. Therefore, if we want to take it serious, it should start from the political parties. It starts from primary election of political parties. They are going to hold their conventions now. PDP and APC are the main political parties. We do not hear anything about other parties. Towards 2023 now, you will see some of them who are recognized by INEC trying to collect our money from big parties and say candidates will be dropped for you. In such situation, you cannot get good people to run. Now they are talking about rotation. We need the two parties to rotate the presidency to the south. Now, the southerners should now meet and rotate it to the southeast. Then, they should now look for somebody from either the north central or somebody from that area or northeast to be the vice president. That will be for equity's sake. If you do not have that, then it means that there is a premeditation that somebody from the south and from the southeast will not become president. I do not support this idea for a Yoruba person becoming the next president. I will not support that because I believe that they have had their turn. Obasanjo served for 2 terms. Osibanjo as president for 2 terms. No, it will be unfair for a Yoruba man to be president in 2023. Former Lagos State Governor Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu is seen to be interested in the 2023 presidency. Are you saying you do not support his plan to contest in the 2023 presidential election? He replied, I have said it that I will not support any Yoruba person for 2023 presidency, whoever he is. Even if the name of the person is Arelu Bello, I will not support the person. I will support Ike Chukwuma or Ngozi or any other person with such names. No matter what, I will support that person.